experts in fleet telematics, Sensium has revolutionized the GPS tracking industry. Founder and CEO Jeremy McLean has steered the business through substantial growth, starting out with a hardware and web-based mapping and tracking platform called Snitch. Soon after, the company has developed its commercial vehicle tracking product by the name of Armada GPS. 2020 was a record year of growth for the company, with the acquisition of Connect Group's vehicle tracking division. I chatted to Jeremy at the Brisbane Truck Show. Can you explain to us what is it that you specialise in?
We specialise in obviously fleet telematics, which is tracking where vehicles are and what's happening on their journey. So we are monitoring the computer on a vehicle, pulling out data from that and displaying it on a map on a screen back at the office for fleet managers to see.
Okay, so it's GPS in a way, GPS tracking.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
So when were you established?
2005 we started in New Zealand.
Okay.
And then 2011 we moved into Australia.
Yeah.
And so moved our head office here and have been here ever since.
So just explain to me a little bit your journey then. How's the shift to Australia been for you? How did the industry welcome you?
It was really hard. It was a lot harder than we expected. We were quite successful early on in New Zealand and found it just easy to get on with customers, bring in a new technology. We came into Australia and it was a lot more difficult. We found it was Australians need networking a lot more.
Okay.
So we decided at that point that we'd white label our product. And so we're selling it entirely through white label resellers.
Okay.
Until recently, only a year ago,
Yeah.
we started up Sensium over here as well, which is the New Zealand company.
Yeah.
And we've gone direct B2B. So it took a long time to get those networks and understand where we fit in the market.
Yeah. Has your product changed as a result of that in terms of accommodating the different specifics of the industry?
It has, yeah. The major one is the recent change to with the product for the fleet heavy transport.
Yeah.
So that's why we're at the truck show now.
Yeah.
So we've added things like integration with onboard mass for the heavy transport. And we've just recently been approved by TCA, the Transport Certification Authority, for some of their schemes that help transport companies operate heavier loads and on certain roads and that sort of thing. So we've done a lot. It has got us more into specialising in transport, heavy transport.
So how are you making the lives easier for truck drivers then? Would you explain?
A lot of it just being able to manage their fleet, so knowing where their fleet are 24/7, how they're driving, staying under speed limits, the integration with the onboard mass, knowing that they're not overloading their trucks, and also understanding when we're bringing back fault codes out of trucks, out of the computers, so transport operators know that their trucks are running properly. It's a big investment for these guys to have these big trucks on the road, so they want to make sure they look after them.
Okay.
And utilising their time properly.
Yeah. So how did the journey start? What was your experience beforehand?
It started in a completely different place. We were really just building a product where people could recover their car if it got stolen.
Okay.
So the whole idea was we wanted a low-cost, really high-quality consumer product. And that was in New Zealand. We did some radio advertising, and 99% of the people that called us in from the radio advertising were commercial. So we quickly realised we need a commercial product. So we quickly adapted to that and did very well over there in commercial.
And what sets you apart from the rest, would you say? What is so unique about your product?
We try a lot harder. So right from the beginning, we've developed our own hardware. We don't import hardware from overseas.
Okay.
We make sure we've got all the correct approvals for Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah.
We have encryption on the data being sent from the device to the platform. We also develop our own platform and front end, so we make sure that the customer's experience is really nice and it's easy to use, nice and reliable.
Yeah.
And being locally based, the majority of our customers at the moment are in Queensland. So they can always get on the phone or even drop into our office to see us. We do exist. We're not an online company or anything like that.
Yeah. And have you been hit by the last 18 months of the pandemic in any way?
Yeah, we were. So for the first probably 12 months of that, a lot of our customers went quiet. So a lot of the load on the company came off us. So we actually use that time to develop more product.
So what have you done?
Everything. we've
It's a good time
redesigned
to
a
do
lot.
it, why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So right from the beginning, we've totally improved our vehicle tracking device. So that's our TB2.
Yeah.
We've added a driver ID module so drivers can tag on and know exactly, so the operators know exactly who's driving the vehicle.
Yep.
We've added another device for monitoring non-powered assets such as trailers or equipment that doesn't have power.
Yep.
And we're just going through the process of a nice, we call it the TrackBox TB220.
Yep.
So that's to be mounted on the outside of trucks or equipment, IP rated, really rugged,
Okay.
with all these different integrations, being onboard mass and that type of thing.
So are you seeing this being the norm now within the industry? I mean, are the smaller operators seeing the need to actually turn to GPS tracking and to be more sensible in that way?
Yeah, definitely. There's two reasons for that. One is to take advantage of some of these schemes that TCA are doing. They need telematics or vehicle tracking.
Yeah.
But the other one too is as companies are evolving the way they do business. So prior to COVID, a company would ask all of their staff to come to base before they then went off on their jobs.
Yeah, okay.
But now they don't really want staff doing that. They're saying go straight from home to your first job.
Yep.
And that's been monitored through the vehicle tracking. The company can see when the vehicles start, when they get to their first job, how long they spent there.
Yeah.
So it's giving the drivers a lot more freedom.
So what sort of cost savings and efficiencies does it bring to a company?
Every company is different, depending on how they run, but we are seeing after a very short time of putting it in and the companies get to go through a little bit of the data, some really simple reports,
Yeah.
they can definitely get a lot of efficiency out of the staff out on the road.
Yeah. So you said that you've upgraded throughout the pandemic, focusing more on the finer details. Would you say that you're also customizing future innovations according to customer needs?
As much as we can, definitely. Because everything we do in Queensland, so all of our design, our manufacturing, everything's here. So we have got the ability to move quite quickly if customers do ask for changes. And where we see the opportunities, we definitely do work with customers to build features or parts of it they need.
Yeah. So you were established 12 years ago.
Longer?
Longer?
Yep, 2005, so 16.
16, yes.
Yep.
Where do you see yourself going in the future? What does the next 10 hold?
We've been really working at perfecting our product.
Yeah.
So that's been the biggest part. We've made sure the hardware is the best it can be and the most reliable. We've made sure that what the customer sees in the office is as easy to use as possible. So where we're aiming for is to really be in the top players of this industry. The big goal is to be the dominant player.
Yep.
And we've got a long way to go for that, but that's where we'd like to get to.
Okay.
So this is the part that the customer actually sees.
Yep.
So back in their office, they see this map with their vehicles on it. They can see where they are, how fast they're going, run a history on there to see where they've been that day.
So picking up people speeding.
Picking up people
Yep.
speeding, yep. We do, and driving excessively. We do a lot of driver behaviour reporting as well.
Okay.
So one of the biggest things that we found early on is that when companies have got company vehicles that have got sign writing, they want to make sure they're being driven properly.
Okay.
So this is a good way to make sure that your drivers are treating your vehicles properly.
Yeah.
And your name, your company name.
So what's the main thing that companies are picking up that are seeing the faults of the drivers?
Yeah, the biggest thing is really the helping manage the business. So it's the time on site reports, the time to site, and really understanding how people are using their time to do their job.
Yep.
So it's around that, but then we do alerts on when services are due on their vehicles and if their batteries are going flat, and just a multitude of different alerts and reports to help them manage their vehicles when they're out on the road.
Great.
It's like having a manager out on the road when they can't be one there. So you've got an office and it's got people in it, and you have managers.
Yeah.
And those managers are there to not keep an eye on the staff, but help the staff do their jobs and give assistance where they can. This allows a fleet manager to also give assistance to the drivers out on the road.
Yep.
To help them through if they're taking too long to do something. He might be able to offer a better suggestion or a solution to go this way rather than that way. Don't use the gateway bridge
Yeah.
between these times because it's too busy.
Yeah.
So it helps them be more efficient, run their business better, and generally make more money.
So how do you know what it is that the industry needs? I mean, if you're not within the industry yourself, like obviously your brain's working differently. So how did you come up with this concept of thinking through these kind of ideas?
This has all come from customer feedback.
Okay.
So we do spend a lot of time with existing customers. The majority of them we know by name.
Yeah.
They come and see us in the office. We go and see them. We make sure we stay in touch with our customers, and they're always offering feedback on the product, offering suggestions for future releases.
Yeah.
So we listen. We do what they ask.
Yeah.
So,
So customer service essentially is what it is.
absolutely, number one.
Definitely. How many customers do you have?
We've got thousands. I don't know the exact number, but it's thousands across Australia and New Zealand, with tens of thousands of devices out there.
And how do you keep on top of this? You're a young dad of 2, quite busy. So how do you multitask and do both?
What's sleeping again?
What is sleep? We don't need sleep.
No, we do work hard. We all work hard. The whole,
Yep.
everyone in the company does. But we also make sure we are at home on time. So I'm home every night for dinner.
Great.
Drop the kids off at school every morning. It's family life is really important too.
And how big is your team?
Across Australia and New Zealand, we're about 15 people.
Great. Well, best of luck. And how are you finding the truck show? Is this
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Just way better than I could have expected. 2 days into it, just couldn't have expected this at all.
awesome? Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
It's been
Cheers.
good.